But your number one player for defensive tackles in the 2024 draft class is?
Texas fight, yeah, Texas fight. Yeah, Texas fight. One of my favorite guys at the Combine, too. Not only like one of my favorite players to watch in the draft, but one of my favorite humans that I met in the draft process. Byron Murphy II from Texas, the Longhorns. Yes. I mean, incredible ball of muscle and explosion. That's what he is. You talk about muscle explosion, pliable, bendable, right? Disruption, yet can hold his ground at an incredible rate for a guy that's, not the biggest defensive tackle in the world, right? All of that is amazing, right? The athleticism's amazing. So that's where I look at it right off the bat and go, wait, not only can this guy just win with pure explosion, quickness, be disruptive, do those type of things, right? The next play on defense, they go, hey, wait, we need to play shade nose, and now we need you to hold your ground and don't be disruptive and don't let them move you. And he can do that too, right? Along the lines of that conversation we were just having of the versatility there. So he's awesome that way. He's awesome in one-on-one. He's very good and a good anchor for a guy his size against the double teams. And like a Jalen Carter last year, he wins wrestling matches, right? Where it's like, okay, it's a stalemate, and he's on a knee, and it looks like he might not. Oh, what? He got the guy off him, and then he still made the tackle, right? That to me was very Jalen Carter-ish of last year, where I'd see times where I'd go, he's on both knees, and he just fought the guy off and got up and made a tackle. And that's what's incredible about this guy. He is a big ball of muscle, my man Byron Murphy.
Yeah, he was the Big 12 Defensive Lineman of the Year. His teammate, actually, Tavondre Sweat, was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Perhaps we'll get to him here.
I got to say something about that.
Yeah.
Okay. That to me, I don't even know how that's possible.
I don't know either. And this is a player that when we did edge rankings, there were a few homies that were like, hey, what about this guy?
That's
hey,
right.
How come you didn't talk about this
right.
guy? Because we have him as the number 2 defensive tackle, versatile defensive tackle. And that player is?
Darius Robinson, Missouri. Man, how do you not like watching Darius Robinson tape? First off, the first play I'll say to our listeners and the people that send questions in, I think I saw him come off the edge and I went, oh no. Oh gosh, he isn't an elite defensive end. I think he came off and he dominated a run play, right? And I was like, oh no, maybe he wasn't even maybe I messed up, right? But as I went on, no, we got it right. He's a defensive tackle. This is what he is. Now again, I didn't make that determination blind, right? I talked to people in football, and I knew people in football were more evaluated as a D tackle than DN from everything so that's the reason I waited so long. Okay, but I think it starts just with, you want to talk about the Greek gaudiest of bodies ever, right? That's where this starts with this guy, too. I love Byron Murphy's body. This is a totally different body. This is tall, long, shoulders, arms, great legs, cut up, chiseled, broad-shouldered, 285-pound Greek god statue is what we got of Darius Robinson. Incredible get-off, incredible upper body, hand, arm strength. Like insanity in the membranity when it comes to that department, right? He gets his hands on he has got the most violent get-off, put his hands on the shoulders or the chest of an offensive lineman and control that human being like he's a toy in the draft. He is the best in that department. Now, he might not be the best as bending and pliable like a Byron Murphy, right? His game's a little bit more upright, but still an absolute freak, right? When you talk about the first step, the quick, violent hands, and then the ability to shed and just shock blockers. I mean, look at this guy. This is 285. He looks like he's got a body like a 205-pound DB has, right? I mean, dominant everywhere. The hell with the stats. It is play up extraordinaire. Disruption, right? Throwing blockers out of the way. Yeah, he doesn't get the tackle, but the running back's like, oh, no, I'm not going there. He's there, right? I mean, it's incredible that way. He He can, like I said, he can play a little stuff upright and stiff, but it's not bad. And then he makes up for it with the great physicality and hand strikes, and he keeps legs moving on contact always. That's where he's really good. I mean, he sells out. Like we talk about with Byron Murphy, maybe even more in this department with Darius Robinson. Like, no regard for his body, right? I'm going to get crushed here. I don't care. I'm going to dive in front of the moving truck and take one for the team because we got to get him down.
All right, so Tier 2, impact players with caveats. Your number 3 defensive tackle is
Dwayne Carter from Duke, number 90, right? This is your athletic, disruptive defensive tackle, right? That's what he is. Explosive, get off, disruption, right? You know, he's got a good-looking body. He's kind of a compact defensive tackle. He's not the space eater type, right? You know, he looks like when you turn on the film, you see him, you go, oh, he looks like the type that's going to win, causing disruption, shooting gaps, doing all that. Get off is really good. The movement is phenomenal, right? I mean, to me, it's more along the lines of Byron Murphy as far as the explosive, the bendability, right? The ability to be in a weird position, still overcome it, do all of that. That's where he is. He wins with, like, either winning with pure explosiveness, getting skinny, shooting the gap, or being so explosive that he gets on top of the lineman before they can even really get their feet in the ground, and all of a sudden they're just backpedaling, going backwards. That's what he really does, right? He's got very good bull rush, right? He's got a pretty good anchor versus double teams, though this is one of the areas you'd go, hey, it needs a little work. He's not the stoutest as far as when it comes to holding his ground against double teams or maybe a bigger offensive lineman every now and then. That's where it's not perfect, and that's why we put him in with a caveat to a degree, right? But has that play hard, sellout mentality I talk about, right? He's a 3 technique, you know, who can do everything as far as that. 4-3 teams, I think, are going to really like him a lot. That's kind of what jumped out at me at first. I got a few other thoughts, but I wanted to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, let's
too.
get a little background on him, too, here, because he was just a 3-star recruit coming out of high school, was actually a standout baseball player in high school. That surprises me.
Wow.
At 6'2", probably was not 302 at the time, but played 5 seasons at Duke. He was a first-team All-ACC. This past year was the Jim Tatum Award winner in the ACC for the conference top scholar athlete. So he's a smart dude, and he's a leader, too. 3-year captain the last 3 years at Duke, and so he has basically led that team. And that resurgence, they were very, very good this past year. So he was a part of a lot of good things.
These 3 guys we're talking about, you can tell the game's important to them. Well, I don't have to talk to a coach and go, like Mozzie Smith, like we talked about last year, where I went, oh, there's things here where I'm not sure, right? And then we get closer to the draft, you kind of hear those things and go, that's effort and work, and how tough he is it is a thing. It kind of showed up on film, right? These 3 right here, this is like the ones we've talked about. They love football. You can tell. They're pissed when they get blocked. They're pissed if they don't make a tackle, right? They're emotionally invested in the game, and that always gives me confidence when you're watching film and evaluating that.
And your number 4 defensive tackle for 2024 is
Johnny, a.k.a. Jerzon Newton. Yes, Johnny was a good man. Yes, Johnny is the man. Johnny is the man. Now, this is a different kind of guy, right? This is a little bit more of the stout, power-based type of defensive tackle. Don't want to discredit him. He's still very athletic, right? Great-looking body, powerful, proportionate, right? Love his legs. Not as much as Byron Murphy's, but I really do like them, right? Good athlete, but not like Carter, who we just talked about, or Murphy from Texas. This is a little different here, right? He's not quite as explosive, not quite as bendable, and like gonna win in weird positions, right? I think that's the big thing. You know, he's not quite as twitchy and quick as those guys, right? Mm-hmm. But his anchor versus a double team and stuff like that can be damn good. His ability to just overpower people, you know, it can be every bit as good as those guys in that department, right? But that's what he is. And then 2, he was asked to 2-gap a lot. Unlike the other guys we talked about, he was asked a lot of the times, hey, hold the guy up, right? Just hold him in place and then see where the ball goes and disengage that way. Strong as hell, right? Really gets off the blocks well. Like, really can hold his ground as a run defender, right? He can play 5 technique like we were talking about with Darius Robinson, where he can just be like, hey, biggest tackle, biggest man on earth. Don't worry, let's go at it.
Out there quite a bit.
Played it quite a bit, right? Well, a lot, right? Now, that's where, to me, you know, he can play a little high at times, a little more upright maybe than some of the guys we've talked about at this point. And that's where sometimes, like, every now and then you'll see a double team that kind of moves him, and I just go, well, he just got to learn to do it right. Like, I'm not worried about it, but every now and then you see one move him because I think he does play a little too tall that way, right? But, as a run defender, there's not much you're not going to like about him. And then, still, even though I'm painting the picture of a little lesser athlete, I don't want it to be thought of as a lesser athlete. It's still a damn good athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, his ability to kind of shuffle sideways, laterally down the line of scrimmage and follow a run while people are trying to chop block him or get at his feet and get him out of the play, very good in that department as well, right? So that's where I really like him. And loose and pliability, a little of the out of position, not totally sure exactly what he is. And then you alluded to this, you quoted somebody because, I wrote, he doesn't have the same instincts and eyes into the backfield as the top guys have. Mm-hmm. He definitely will get into, you hit me and I'm going to beat your ass. And it's like, no, the guy's running by you right now. Don't worry, you can beat his ass next play. Make the tackle, right? Yeah. He definitely can get a little caught up in that. There's no doubt about that. You see that. So that to me is like the learning of the game, the out of the position, playing out of position, being a little stiff, not sure, not getting that evidence to go, wait, he gets to do this all the time. I got to see a ton of snaps. I know it. I'm for sure, right? The other guys, you get to see them at one spot and know for sure at a lot of the time. So there was a little of that. He was a guy that I actually wrote reminded me of Keon White a little bit. That is who he reminded me of. But, the played out of position, one-on-one pass rush, he is awesome. Bull rush is great, right? He's got good quicks too, really good football player. I wrote 28 to 48. I know that's high. I know it is. I mean, I understand that, but
so he could be a steal. I mean,
I look at him and just go, wow.
You described them exactly how your tier is labeled. Physical needs molding here, but you feel like once he gets that and he's late to football, so it's just like he'll
learn some hand fighting, right?
Doesn't always happen.
Gets to it doesn't always happen.
Right? Doesn't always all come together.
No. Gets to hunker down at one position a little bit and learn that nuance instead of like, wait, coach, I play this position, but wait, you want me to do this and learn this? Oh, all right, wait, I'm just getting good at this. Oh, wait, no, it's third down. Now you want me to go back to my position that's good? Oh, wait, it's a big play. Now I need to go back to the other position that's good. Oh, so that's hard, right? For a young guy that hasn't played football.
Yep.
We'll see. My money would be on, from what I see on film as far as intensity, physicality, importance of the game, that he's going to be a guy that's going to thrive in the environment. Yeah. So we'll see where it goes. Yo, homies, what's up? I know it's the offseason, but it's never the offseason on Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Me and Ahmed Fareed are going to be here for it all. We got free agency. We're going to break it all down. The draft, the rankings of positions. Of course, we're going to unpack it all. Hit subscribe, get to my free agency reactions, 2024 draft rankings and more. Thanks again for watching. Peace out, homies. See you soon.